JBNN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, man killed at party in Westmoreland. A man was shot dead at a party in Londalo, Savlamar in Westmoreland on Saturday night. He has been identified as 26-year-old Akeem Dulcio, otherwise called Bujo. According to the police's Corporate Communications Unit, CCU, Dulcio was shot and killed by unknown assailants at a bar. Reports are that about 9:45 p.m., Dulcie was among a group of patrons at a party when two men alighted from a white Toyota Axio and fired several shots. Shortly after the shooting subsided, Dulcie was found suffering from gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. 75 stolen poker game boxes seized in Clarendon. The police in Clarendon are reporting the seizure of 75 stolen poker game boxes. They say the recoveries were made during intensified operations last week, which included the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission. In one instance, the operations netted the seizure of 39 game boxes at a location at Cemetery Road in Denby, which led to the arrest and charge of 60-year-old businessman Daverton Francis. The police say he has been charged with unlawful possession of property. The police say teams have ramped up operations in the division, targeting the illicit use and operation of poker game boxes. They note that the theft of these game boxes has increased in recent times across Clarendon and the neighbouring parishes of Manchester and St. Elizabeth. According to the head of criminal investigations of the Clarendon Division, Deputy Superintendent Jermaine Anglin, investigations suggest that one of these boxes is valued at an average of $350,000. When stolen, one is reportedly sold for $60,000 to the criminal underworld. Anglin further stated that each box earns an average of $6,000 daily, adding that by his calculation, the 75 boxes seized could generate at least $450,000 daily to fund criminal activities. With this in mind, Anglin said he and his team are resolute to remove the profit out of crime and bring perpetrators of this illicit activity to justice. Maitland remanded until September 16. The bail application for murder-accused Noel Maitland has been pushed back to September 16 after the prosecution refused to provide witness statements requested by the defense. The matter was stood down after approximately 30 minutes to allow the prosecution to speak with the Director of Public Prosecutions about permitting the disclosure of the documents needed to make the bail application. Maitland, the policeman boyfriend of missing social media personality Donnelly Donaldson, has been charged with murder in connection to her disappearance. Earlier on Monday, a representative from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, ODPP, told the court that the decision to withhold the documents, including statements from Donaldson's mother, Sophia Logg, was done to protect the witnesses. However, Maitland's attorney, Casey and Kennedy Sherman, who appeared on behalf of lead attorney Christopher Towson and the senior parish judge Lorraine Cole Montague, expressed their displeasure with the ODPP's decision.
Well, today we intended to make a bail application. Unfortunately, the prosecution did not disclose several documents on us despite our request 2 weeks ago. It is quite disappointing. We are taken by surprise. This is something that I have never experienced in all my years of practice. They have chosen not to disclose certain documents. They have also indicated their reasons, but the court, in its own assessment of the matter, has indicated that it was not satisfied with those reasons. And so, we are indeed, I would say, ambushed. And so until the next date.
U.S. fugitive on murder charge to be extradited to Washington, D.C. A man charged for murder in Washington, D.C. in the United States waived his rights to an extradition hearing in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Monday. Ronjay Reynolds, 24, who was captured in Kingston on Tuesday, is wanted in connection with the January murder of 27-year-old Tyreek Booth of Virginia. The U.S. authorities said that the murder occurred following an argument between the men. A senior parish court judge signed documents of committal for arrangements to be made for him to be taken to the United States. Reynolds is expected to be sent to the United States within the next 30 days. 167 teachers resign in last 2 months. Minister of Education Favour Williams has revealed that over the past 2 months, some 167 teachers have migrated and they left their positions in the local school system. Teachers, like everyone else, make very personal decisions to migrate, and we are sorry to see them go, but we respect their decisions. Obviously, resignations that would have happened in the last school year would have seen where many of those would have been filled, and so those would not be in this number that I'm quoting to you this morning, the minister said. She added, of course, we're still getting information from our school principals, and so this number, 167, could change as we move towards the end of August and into September. The new school year begins on the 5th of September, and even up to that time, there may be resignations. Williams, who was addressing teacher migration at a press conference on Monday, went on to share that although the numbers may raise alarm, the situation is under control. She stated that the ministry has implemented several strategies to mitigate any potential fallout from the mass immigration. Williams also revealed that 964 specialist teachers who have just completed their studies are now available for employment in the national school system. The press conference comes on the heels of the Jamaica Teachers Association JTA warning the country to brace on exodus of teachers this year, as already over 400 have left the island to take up lucrative job opportunities in the United States. The press conference comes on the heels of the Jamaica Teachers Association JTA warning the country to brace on exodus of teachers this year, as already over 400 have left the island to take up lucrative job opportunities in the United States. Looking at our 2022 teacher training graduates by specialization, I see accounting majors, biology, chemistry teachers, computer science teachers, business education teachers. I see 111 early childhood education teachers. We have some 29 English double majors. We have 140 mathematics double majors. We have some physical education teachers as well, said Williams. We are seeing primary education teachers, 259 of those, and we are seeing social studies, Spanish, French, for a total of 964 teachers with specialization would have graduated from our teacher education institutions this year, and I'm sure many of those will be taking up appointments in our schools. Williams shared that of the 964 teachers that are now available to enter the government teaching system, 121 are bonded for 5 years, having completed their studies through the ministry's special scholarship program. They're expected to take up positions in the upcoming school year. Among them are 67 maths teachers, 32 teachers of physics and chemistry, and 17 with industrial education specialization, she said. We do have teachers coming in under the Jamaica-Cuba bilateral program. We have 70 teachers there. We have a framework agreement with the Cuban government under which we bring in those teachers into our system. In addition to the over 900 teachers set to enter the school system for the 2022 academic year, Minister Williams said retired teachers may also be sought out to fill any gaps resulting from migration. Williams said only those who would have retired from January 2018 to present will be eligible to fill the positions.
You would have heard on this very press briefing here this morning the many initiatives, and some of these initiatives are not new this morning. Some of these initiatives we use every year in the school system to ensure that we deal with any gaps in the teaching force. There are some that are new in terms of giving pre-approvals so that we cut down on the time it takes to get this. We would have outlined how many teachers, new teachers there are coming into the system, our very own special education program. That's not something you put in place today. It was something that would have had to have been in place over some period of time, because it takes 2 or 3 years to get teachers trained. So there has been an ongoing assessment, because we do have teacher movements at the end of the school year and during the year in particular. We always have to ensure that we have replacement teachers for our teachers who are going off on their long leave, whether it's their 4-month leave or their 8 months leave. Continually, we have to ensure that we have replacement teachers for those. We know that there's a percentage of teachers every year, year in, year out, who decide to exit the teaching profession for one reason or the other. It could be migration, but it could be moving on to a different field. It could be leaving the government and going into the private sector or a private school. So we do plan for a certain level of attrition. The teaching profession, like any other profession, has attrition.
Jamaica records 4% increase in murders, shootings down 5%. The murder tally in Jamaica stood at 958 up to August 19, a 4% increase year on year. The current murder tally is 18 shy of the total number of homicides recorded in Jamaica in 2003, the last year in the past 2 decades when murders were below 1,000. The data is from the latest available crime statistics from the Jamaica Constabulary Force. St. James, St. Catherine North and Westmoreland round out the top 3 murderous police divisions since the start of the year with 132, 94 and 89 murders respectively. Portland has recorded the fewest murders, 8, followed by Trelawney, Hanover and St. Elizabeth, all of which have recorded 26 murders each. Shootings have declined by 4.9%. The St. Andrew South Division had the highest number, 89, followed by Westmoreland with 84. There were 58 less rapes for the period compared with 2021. Of the 256 rapes, most were recorded in St. Andrew North, 32, and the least in St. Mary and Kingston Central, 3 each. Robberies across the island have increased by 13%, with 582 reported. Robberies declined in 7 of the 19 police divisions, while Manchester recorded 75 robberies, which is the highest among all divisions for the period. Break-ins have increased by 5.2%, as 625 incidents were reported when compared to 594 last year. As with robberies, Manchester had the highest number of break-ins, 114, 2 more than recorded over a similar period in 2021. The police divisions in Kingston reported the least number of break-ins. 128 new COVID-19 cases, no deaths reported. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 128 new COVID-19 cases on Sunday, August 21, bringing the infection total to 148,952. No new deaths were reported. The total number of deaths remain at 3,237. The new cases comprise 78 females and 50 males, with ages ranging from 1 day to 108 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew, 20, St. James, 3, St. Mary and Trelawney, 4 each, Hanover, 1, St. Thomas and Clarendon, 14 each, Manchester, 11, Westmoreland, 8, St. Catherine, 25, St. Anne, 5, Portland, 13, and St. Elizabeth, 6. There were 94 recoveries in the last 24 hours, bringing the total to 95,775. Currently, 120 people are hospitalized, 19 of whom are moderately ill, 5 severely ill, and 1 critically ill. Jamaica's positivity rate for the latest round of testing is 12.2%. In sports news, Dixon appointed head coach at Very United. Former reggae boy Linval Dixon has been appointed the new head coach of Very United. Very United President Luther Cousins confirmed Dixon's appointment today. Dixon joins the club following the departure of Donovan Dukey, who spent 2 seasons at the Clarendon Base Club, guiding them to a first ever Jamaica Premier League playoff appearance in 2021. Dixon will be making his return to the top flight as head coach since being in charge of Portmore United from 2015 to 2017. Very United finished 10th last season with 20 points. In cricket, New Zealand secured a historic ODI win over Windies. New Zealand secured a historic one-day international win yesterday at Kensington Oval in Barbados as they defeated the West Indies by 5 wickets to secure their first series win in the Caribbean since the first tour in 1985. Sent into bat, Windies made 301 for 8 from the allotment of 50 overs as Kyle Mayer spearheaded West Indies batting with 105, with assistance from captain Nicholas Purran, who made 91, and Shai Hope with 51. New Zealand, aided by moist conditions, made 307 for 5 with half centuries from captain Tom Latham, Daryl Mitchell, Martin Gobtail and Devon Conway. The win enabled New Zealand to claw their way back from losing the first match for the historic 2-1 series victory. All 3 matches in this series were played at Kensington Oval. Yesterday, New Zealand methodically chased a huge total as they weathered West Indies bowlers, but kept themselves in the match by scoring at a good pace throughout the innings. Man of the match Latham was the mainstay of the innings as he steadied the innings for 69 from 75 balls with 6 fours. Only Finn Allen, who made 3 runs, failed in the New Zealand top order as Gobtill got 57 from 64 balls with 5 fours and 1 6. Conway, 56 from 63 balls with 6 fours, and Mitchell, 63 from 49 balls with 6 4 and 1 6. Earlier, left-hander Myers struck his second ODI 100 to set up West Indies' huge total, with the 29-year-old lashing his 105 from 110 deliveries. Captain Porn blasted 91 from just 55 deliveries, while prolific opener Hope chipped in with 51. Number 9, Alzari Joseph, arrived late to lash a 6-ball unbeaten 20, which helped Windies clear the 300-run hurdle, as the final over leaked 15 runs. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.